Senate district, and by extension really for other interested Westchester families to know about this program. And I think as the Senator implied, this actually is one of the fun parts of my job.
It is.
We oversee a lot of different accounts and money, and certainly the pension fund we're well known for. But this is what we call forgotten money. This is money that New Yorkers have somehow been separated from. We call it unclaimed funds. But our goal really is to get this money back into your hands. As the Senator said, I don't like holding on to that money. You really said it exactly right. We are the custodian, though, for these funds when they are turned over to our office. And we are now overseeing, just for the 35th Senate District, Senator Stewart-Cousins District, we have accounts, almost 200,000 accounts. Could be, you could have multiple accounts in your name, but we have about 200,000 accounts, totaling nearly $107 million, just for this Senate District in Westchester. So that gives you a sense of just how much money we're talking about. We have a breakdown of the different communities in the 35th District, in the Senator's District, and as you can see, residents from all over this district are owed this money, from $1.3 million in Ardsley to $34 million here in Yonkers, and a lot of sums in between. When we talk about unclaimed funds, people say, where does this money come from? Typically, it's old bank accounts. That's very often what it is. Sometimes it's an uncashed check. It could be a health insurance check. Sometimes someone might have been left money in a life insurance policy and it hadn't been claimed. Could be an old utility deposit. Could be an old financial account, an old stock account. There really are very many ways that one of these accounts may be deemed inactive or dormant and then turned over to my office. I'll give you an example, because typically what happens is, we live in a mobile society, right? People move. I don't have one address for all my life. People move around, and sometimes people may forget to update their contact information with their bank or their financial institution, and especially if there's no activity in the account, the financial institution, and you see this sometimes in the newspapers, the legal notices have to advise you before they turn the money over to the state. But very often, that's what happens. Somebody moves, the bank can't find you. I had the experience, I think I once might have told you, where I got a phone call from my bank. I had an old savings account. It was the account I opened when I was a teenager. I never wanted to close it, even though I didn't have much money in it. And they said, is this Tom DiNapoli? I said, well, we're about to turn your money over to the state controller because there's been no activity. That would not have looked good. The senator would not have said I was the best controller if that had happened. But what happens is I had moved. I had moved, so I had a different address, but my phone number had not changed. I was still in the same. So I then remember now that even if it's an account I don't use regularly, I have some kind of activity every few months, put money in, take money out, just so that they see that is active. It is active. So you never know how you may get separated from this money. Right now we are returning over $1 million a day to New Yorkers, and through events like this, we really want to up that number. Last year we hit a record of about $427 million that we returned. We certainly have more money that we want to continue to return, because it's still a tough economy out there, and for many families, whether it's $50 or $100, and those are the typical recoveries, it can make a difference. Sometimes it's several hundred, sometimes it's several thousand, and we have one account valued at $1.7 million that's not been claimed. Wow. Stewart-Cousins is not the name on that.
No.
So we can't help you there. So we are here really, and I appreciate the Senator taking time to be with me, because we want to get more word out about this program. You'd be amazed I haven't heard about it, right? So we want to get the word out about this program, because we want to encourage residents of Yonkers and of the 35th Senate District and beyond to check to see if you have any of this money available. And I always like to remind people that it's not just your name. It could be an organization, a not-for-profit. It could be your church or your synagogue, your mosque, whatever your affiliation. It could be a union, a business, if you have a business, if you're a small business owner. There are many different ways you may be connected to an account. It could also be in the name of a deceased relative. Perhaps a parent may have passed away and you are the heir. We always tell people, put in your relatives, close relatives' names as well. We might need a little more documentation if it is an estate situation, but that's another way that you may be connected to one of these accounts. Now, as the Senator mentioned, we've been working together to spread the word about unclaimed funds to the 35th Senate District. And since this joint effort began, since September, which isn't that long ago, my office has told me we returned already about $390,000 to your constituents because of your efforts. But we want to do more. We want to make sure that all $107 million for the communities in the Senate District can get this money back. This partnership, again, you did a mailing, right? And I think is that what that is right there?
Yes, exactly. I did a mailing once we heard from your office the amount of money, because I'm told, frankly, that there is about 106 million unclaimed funds right here in the 35th District.
Right.
In all of Westchester, $225 million waiting for the people of Westchester to claim. So once we heard this, what we decided to do was at least start notifying. We sent out 12,000 letters, and we got 12% rate of return, so about 1,500 people actually got in touch with your office, and were able to get up to, from the last figure I got was about, as you said, $390,000. So that is just a small percentage of the people who we were able to notify. And this will be an ongoing effort, because the reality is, who doesn't want newfound money, especially if it's, theirs to have. And I'll also tell you that I, like you, had a situation. There was a woman who worked for municipal housing who was looking for unclaimed funds in her name, but saw my name.
Oh, really?
And she called, and she said, I think you have money. And the reality is that I did. It was $60 that I might not have known to look for, but somebody was thoughtful enough to call and let me know. So again, as you were saying, it may not be something that you benefit from, but there might be somebody on that list that you can notify, because again, the money is yours. It's sitting there. If you go to play lotto or whatever, you've got to pay $1 or whatever it is to claim your funds. Not here. This is an absolutely great service that the controller is presenting, with really only the thought of making sure that New Yorkers are reunited with their money. So I thank you.
And that's an important point, because sometimes people are contacted by what's called a finder business. Mm-hmm. And I've had this experience where I'll get a letter or a phone call and say, it's always funny when I get it, are you the Thomas DiNapoli that has money? Oh, for a 15% fee, we will contact the control zone. So if you ever get a letter or a phone call, throw it out, because there is no charge for this. 100% of this money is yours. It's not illegal for them to charge you that fee, but it's unnecessary. And sometimes people think that that's the only way to access this money. And again, that's why we're here today. We have an 800 number if you prefer to talk to somebody, 1-800-221-9311. That's available during business hours, Monday to Friday. We also now, and this is the way most people search the system, rather than come to an event, although we welcome that. I know we have some residents here who are going to search in a moment. You can also search online. So I always say, when you can't fall asleep at 2 in the morning, and you're surfing the web, put in New York State Controller in your search engine, click on unclaimed funds, and then you could, and people do this, you put your name in, you put in your relative's name, your business name, whatever, and you're then prompted, you can actually apply right online, and for the more simple recoveries, you can get a check in a matter of days. So that really is, in many ways, the most efficient opportunity. Also now you can use your smartphone, and you could go through that modern technology. So we're really trying to make it very easy. But we're here in Yonkers at the library today. Staff will be here until 1 p.m. Deborah DeLon and Danielle Jones are here, and they're very nice, and don't be intimidated by the computer. They'll walk you through everything. But we really want as many people to take advantage of this service today. And as the Senator said, this is going to be an ongoing partnership, and I really appreciate that the Senator and her staff has really taken that extra step to let people know about this program. And whether it is, that $50 or $60 check, or in some cases, I'm sure it was a few hundred, or in some cases a few thousand, this money, the most important point, it's your money. People sometimes say, oh, thank you for this money. Well, it's really your money. We're